Kyiv has come under another massive Russian assault, as waves of missiles and drones once again target the Ukrainian capital. A historic monastery and residential neighborhoods were reportedly struck during what is being described as one of the largest attacks of the war. More than 50 missiles and nearly 500 drones are said to have rained down on Ukrainian cities, overwhelming air defenses and causing widespread damage. And despite reported tank losses and ongoing manpower challenges, has Vladimir Putin just unleashed one of the most devastating attacks since the conflict began? Russia launched a massive overnight missile and drone assault on Kyiv, once again placing Ukraine's capital under sustained attack. Ukrainian authorities said at least 4 people were killed and 23 others injured during the June 15 strike. Preliminary reports indicate that Russia used more than 50 missiles alongside nearly 500 drones in one of the war's largest aerial barrages. Ukraine also claimed that several Zircon hypersonic missiles were among the weapons launched during the attack. A major strike reportedly hit the historic Assumption Cathedral inside the renowned Kyiv Pechersk Lavra complex. The monastery is regarded as one of Ukraine's most important religious, cultural, and historical landmarks. According to officials, the strike marked only the 3rd time the site has been damaged since the end of World War II. Ukrainian religious leaders condemned the attack, describing it as a crime against history, culture, and Christianity. This as explosions were reported across the city throughout the night as air defense systems worked to intercept incoming threats. Apartment buildings sustained damage in the Obolon, Solomyansky, Pechersk, Podol, and Shevchenkivsky districts of Kyiv. Warehouses, commercial properties, homes, and a vegetable market were also reportedly damaged in the strikes. Russia also targeted transmission lines, leaving around 140,000 electricity subscribers without power as authorities assessed the full extent of the damage. Russian drones also reportedly struck the Kharkiv Art Museum on June 14, injuring 6 people and causing significant damage to the historic site. The attack triggered a major fire that spread across more than 1,200 square meters of the building, according to local officials. Emergency crews and volunteers worked through the night to rescue thousands of artworks from the burning museum. The museum houses more than 25,000 cultural items, including works by prominent Ukrainian and Russian artists.
Everything most valuable from our collection has been moved out. We evacuated the museum items representing the greatest value in several stages. But considering that the collection numbers over 26,000 items, of course, part of the collection was in the building. How much was damaged and what was damaged, I cannot say yet.
Officials described the incident as another attack on Ukraine's cultural heritage and historical legacy.
It is terrible when Russia strikes our history. It is terrible that the art museum was damaged. Today, our task is to ensure that these paintings saved today are preserved for our future.
Russian drone strikes also hit the Sumy region, injuring 3 people, including a child, according to local authorities. In Dnipro, officials reported at least 1 person injured and significant damage, including the destruction of a college building. The attacks came after Ukraine had warned in recent days about the possibility of a new large-scale Russian strike campaign. The latest wave of strikes comes as Moscow continues to face reported troop shortages and mounting pressure on its armored forces and tank reserves. With the war in Ukraine showing no signs of ending, Russia is reportedly facing a growing challenge in maintaining troop recruitment levels. Russia is said to be offering substantial financial incentives in an effort to attract new soldiers into its armed forces. Advertisements across the country reportedly promise signing bonuses of around $80,000 for individuals who enlist in military service. Some recruits are also allegedly being offered debt relief packages worth up to $140,000 as part of enlistment incentives. These recruitment campaigns are being widely distributed through billboards and social media platforms, targeting primarily young men across the country. Despite these offers, recruitment is reportedly down by around 20% in the first quarter of 2026, according to cited assessments. Analysts told CNN that recruitment has continued to struggle even as financial incentives and enlistment bonuses have increased significantly. Traditionally, the Kremlin has relied on its population size and industrial base to sustain a prolonged war of attrition. However, experts say that strategy is now being tested by sustained battlefield losses and growing long-term economic pressure. For now, Russia has reportedly been relying on multiple manpower sources, including former prisoners and foreign recruits. This comes as estimates suggest that hundreds of thousands of Russian soldiers have been killed or wounded since the start of the conflict. Millions more Russians have reportedly left the country to avoid conscription, according to a CNN report. The resulting manpower shortages are also said to be pushing up wages and contributing to rising domestic inflation. Despite high pay offers, reports indicate that many potential recruits remain reluctant due to harsh frontline conditions. Allegations have emerged regarding poor treatment of soldiers and pressure to accept high-risk combat assignments. As Russia continues to grapple with a manpower crisis, President Vladimir Putin is facing yet another growing battlefield and domestic challenge. Russia's vast Cold War-era tank reserves are reportedly approaching critical depletion, according to recent assessments of military storage facilities. Satellite imagery suggests that around 2,088 tanks remain in storage across multiple depots throughout the country. These stockpiles reportedly include a mix of older models such as T-54, T-55, T-60TO, T-64, T-70TWO, and T-80 variants. Analysts say many of these vehicles are now in poor condition after spending years exposed to outdoor storage and limited maintenance. The 904th storage base has reportedly become an important transit hub, with tanks being moved out toward frontline units as losses continue. Russia entered the war with an estimated stock of over 20,000 Soviet-era main battle tanks, forming the backbone of its early armored capability. However, a significant portion of these vehicles had already been scrapped or sold off in previous decades, steadily reducing the size of usable reserves. Russian armored forces have also suffered heavy losses due to the widespread use of modern anti-tank weapons deployed by Ukraine. In the early stages of the war, large numbers of tanks were reportedly destroyed or captured during intense frontline engagements. In response, Russia has increased domestic tank production to around 280 to 300 units per year to help replenish battlefield losses. This marks a notable rise compared to pre-war output, but it still remains far below Soviet-era industrial capacity. Analysts note that the Soviet Union once produced up to 4,000 tanks annually at the height of the Cold War. Current production levels are still considered insufficient to fully replace ongoing combat losses and expanding frontline requirements.